business started and getting it out to people?
The number one suggestion of getting started, get out to people. Well, if you're gonna get started, obviously, I would suggest, you know, there's ignorance on fire, and then there's strategic, and they both work. So ignorance on fire is just when you're so excited about the opportunity, you go to your Walmart and you're like, hey, you got to see this, you got to see what I'm into, check out this video, you got to see this, whether you're in and out, you need to see what I'm promoting, what my new business is. Now the strategic way is, and what is usually taught is, first, get that why that makes you cry. Get the why that makes you cry, and what are your goals? Write your goals down. So if you have your why, and I always say this, I was like, why is really not enough, because there's people that have been in this industry 10, 15 years, and they don't have, I mean, they have the same why no matter what company they're in. So it's not enough. It's just who you want to become. Who do you want to become during this journey? Like where do you see yourself? I had a buddy last night reach out to me, and he'd been in different MLMs, and he has the same why. But so I asked him, who do you want to become? Who do you see yourself? Like, where do you see yourself on a Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock with your wife and your daughter? Like, where do you see yourself? What do you want to become? So I think the why, it has to make you cry. But if you want to take it a step further, then it's who you want to become. Write down that why, and then write down your goals. See yourself. Your 5-year goals, 3-year goals, 1-year goal, 6 months goals, stuff like that.
So what would your suggestion be? So let's say I've exhausted my warm market, or in my mind I've exhausted my warm market, and so I am kind of sitting stagnant business wise. What would you say would be the next step for me?
Um, well, I don't believe you can ever exhaust your warm market. Because you know most people's warm market, whether it's their family and friends, they're just waiting. They're just sitting back and waiting. They don't want to dive in. They just sit back and waiting. But say that you've burnt through your warm market, then the cold market's out there. You can definitely go out there and start talking. Just talking to people, and sharing your business. Because I think, man, and I go offline and online and offline. Online, um, you know, a lot of people, what they do is, especially on Facebook, what they do is they'll just, because they're scared to go to the warm market, so they think the internet is the easiest way. So they'll just um, send a message to somebody who's in network marketing, hey, check out the greatest opportunity, and send it over, and hoping they're going to sign up. This is, will always be a people business. I mean, she was talking earlier about the product, but it's always going to be, you're always going to buy from somebody who like, and trust.
What about leads? I mean, so let's say, I don't know, I'm an introvert and stay at home, and I'm just going to work off of leads, but I don't know how to get the leads. So
Um,
what
so
would you suggest?
is it online or offline?
Say online. So I'm looking
Online.
for
So
leads or a system or something.
I would say, obviously generating leads is great, but it's a skill that you have to learn. But if you have, hustle, and not afraid to talk to people, then there's Facebook. You can go into Facebook groups and just start talking to people. I mean, we got a Facebook group. You can go in there and just start talking to people and seeing, just start building relationships with them, and then see what you have to offer. I don't care. I built that Facebook for community. Not just for my business, but everybody else in there. Because you gotta make connections with people if you want to expose people to your opportunities. So yeah, Facebook. I mean, Twitter. We were talking about video. Video. If you're scared to be on camera, um, you can do screenshots. But I mean, there's different ways where you can generate leads. But if you want to, I want to suggest, just focus on generating leads. I would focus on more on going out there and making the connection first.
Yeah, because that's
If if you're strategic, or I mean, if you focus on building a connection or rapport first, then all of a sudden when somebody comes back to you, they're like, oh yeah, you hand that card, or what I do is I always take a person's card, because me giving out cards, I don't get any responses. That's why I usually go empty pocket. I go empty pocket. I take everybody else's, and I do the follow up. That's an aggressive. That's hustle. That's where you get your leads, instead of, like, hey, here's my business card, and I just waiting by the phone hoping that they're gonna call. They're not gonna call. But if I have their number, I have their information, I can call, like, hey, we had a good connection. Are you open to making some money? Are you open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're doing? They'll say yes, or what is it, and you can just shoot them over that video. So, yeah, it's just one of them things where, I mean, as far as offline, if you're talking about offline, then absolutely, I mean, you can prospect to everybody. Just prospect everybody. Prospecting is the least cost efficient way that you're going to build your business. Because it's free. I mean, I say it's free, it's your time, but it's free. You can, prospect. When we get out this room, when we go back into the real world, then you can just go out there and start prospecting. Online is a little bit more strategic, where you pick a market, and I know your company has different markets for different product and service. So you pick a market for that, your product or your opportunity, and then focus on that. And then, since you're part of MLSP, if they say no to your business, then you have MLSP like, hey, take a look at this resource. So that's the beauty of having MLSP. And I think you joined too, right? You signed up to the same thing. Like, some of you pick somebody about your business, and they're like, no, thank you. It was like, well, here, how you doing with generating leads online? 98% of people don't know how to generate leads online. They just don't, because it's not taught in network marketing. They teach you just to go out and talk to everybody. But the problem with that is that when you're marketing to everybody, you get nobody. So if you have to have a certain market that you're marketing to, and with us as network marketers, it's other network marketers, and it's one, because they understand the business model, and two is just like, even if they say no to your business, you can have a product, a training resource to sell to them, because it's easier to sell. A training product to somebody than it is a business opportunity. It's just a million times easier, because if you sell them information on how to build their business, they're gonna love you for it. They're like, thank you. Oh yeah, I want. Here's a course on how to recruit more people. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Here's a course on how to get more leads. Oh, thank you. Because that's what people want. They want to get more leads, and they want to recruit more people. So if you can give them training, provide them training, then you can make money off of that while you're still building your business. Make sense?